Can't take care of it. Ram stopper here for us, bringing safety to your door. Whether you rich or you poor, if you see a you must talk it. I mean you check. Do it for your safety. If you see a don't keep it. You must part of it. Crime Stopper, the people bringing safety to your door. Crime Stopper, stopping crime and making peace for them before. Crime Stopper, Liberia, from the center to interior. Crime Stopper, keeping us safe, the stopping crime for all of us. Crime Stopper, the people bringing safety to your door. Crime Stopper, stopping crime and making peace for them before. Crime Stopper, Liberia, from the center to interior. Crime Stopper, keeping us safe, the stopping crime for all of us.
Crime Stopper Liberia is here for you. Remember, you see it, you report it. This is a message from your own self, Omen Sam Sion.
Crime Stopper, the people bringing safety to your door. Crime Stopper, stopping crime and making peace for them before. Crime Stopper, Liberia, from the center to interior. Crime Stopper, keeping us safe, the stopping crime for all of us. Crime Stopper, the people bringing safety to your door. Crime Stopper, stopping crime and making peace for them before. Crime Stopper, Liberia, from the center to interior. Crime Stopper, keeping us safe, the stopping crime for all of us.
Rabbi, why you taking?
I said, darling, you look so worried.
Charles, I'm worried because I don't know where to get stuff for my shop and restaurant.
Oh, come on, man. Haven't you heard about Exeter's Best Price Store on Gurley Street and Smart Road Junction on the Old Road?
Oh, no, Charles. Tell me about it.
Exeter's Best Price Store got everything for your shop and restaurant. And the good news is that they have reduced the prices of club beer products and imported beverages. So to keep that graduation party, wedding reception, and whatever occasion jumping till the break of dawn, Exeter's Best Price Store is that place for you.
Is that all?
No, they have for the first time introduced on the LIB market Buffalo Revive that comes with 4 different flavors. flavors: Cool Blue, Apple Kiwi, Full Red, and Fitness Orange. It's good for athlete and everyone. For wholesale and retail supply, call cell number 0770-617-575. Exodus Best Price Store on Garland Street and the Old Road Smart Road Junction. We are your cheaper wholesale and retail store.
He said, when you want some more, I provide. So we start to talk. Come on, some going to 20 pop. Put in toto ichiki.
A pleasant good morning and welcome to another brand new edition of the program from the Prime News. Today, Monday, the 16th day of June, the year 2025. It's good to be here this morning after a wonderful weekend. My name is Wendell Nimna and I'm here this morning with Esther Daku. Esther, good morning and welcome.
Good morning, Wendell. Good morning to the good people of Liberia. Today's Monday, and I'm glad to be here again to share my own view on the trendy events that are happening in our country.
All right, so that's good to know. You are back and kicking this morning. So we are in the month of June. You know, fathers are being celebrated around the world.
Exactly. And that's why I was on
Yeah.
Father's Day business today.
Yeah, I was following you this morning
Okay.
on my way to work. You know, we're not talking about the other father there where they tell the woman, say, go take out the pregnancy, go destroy the child.
Yeah,
No.
we're not talking about the ones who abandon
Abandon
their
the kids.
You're
Yeah.
running around. I just
Running
saw a
away from
post
your.
on Facebook
Mhm.
not too long, and I was like laughing. I think if people would normalize posting these guys pictures on Facebook with their names, it would help a lot. How do you run away when they run
Yeah.
away in the loud?
So,
That is one of the reasons why I was telling someone the last time. I got no problem with a woman leaving a man after he lost his job, whether he was supporting her fully and he lost his job. I don't have problem with you leaving him because he lost his job. Because if a man can leave a woman with pregnancy and run and stay away, and she have to go through all of it on her own, he should go through that too.
they want bringing up another topic for another day. But,
Yeah, I know we're not gonna talk about that.
We'll talk about it another day. But on a serious note, we want to say to all of you fathers out there, the loving and caring ones who've been there, been protecting, guiding your family. I want to say a big thank you to you. You are being celebrated around the world. We say Happy Father's Day to all of us fathers. My wife can attest to it that I'm a good father. My children can attest to it that I'm a good father. My grandkids can attest to it that I'm a good father because I love them and I'm always there for them, no matter what. So you got to do the same. You always got to be there for your family, your kids. That's what make you a good father. You know, a good husband. You know, when you are being celebrated on Father's Day, it's a good thing. The bad ones are the ones that would tell the girl, say, that pregnancy, where you get there, not for me. Knowing the fact that you slept with her and you got her impregnated and today you are shying away from the pregnancy, that is not a good thing to do. So I want to say happy Father's Day to all of us. And let me leave the shores of Liberia and say happy Father's Day to Estuber Wajira. He's popularly known as NKT Pekin.
He taught me, okay.
Yeah, my man, I'm here with one of your students.
Of course.
NKT Pekin, Estuber Wajira. Want to say happy Father's Day to you. I also want to say happy Father's Day to all of my brothers. I appreciate all of you for being there for your kids.
Of course.
That's what a good father does. You know, always be there for your children. So we're not celebrating the bad fathers. If you are a bad father, you know yourself,
we're
you're
not.
listening to us. No, you're not part of our celebration. We're taking you from there.
Exactly.
So all of you want to welcome you to the program from the Print News. This program is brought to you through the kind courtesy of Mayuba and Sons Incorporated, Exodus Best Price Store, owned and operated by Henry K. Jackson, and also our one and only Cram Stopper Liberia. So Yvonne David say happy blessed Father's Day to you. Thank you so much, Yvonne. And folks, let's recognize some of you watching. My personal page, Joyce Wim, is following. Our sister there in the United States, Joyce, we say good morning from Liberia. Joyce is following. Barack Zane Bruce is following. Yvonne Davis is also following, and Katie Pekin is also following. So let's begin now with the reading of the stories we have in our studio. We have two local dailies. Here is the front page, Africa before me, and as you can see, those of you watching us, this is what is on the front page. And Esther is going to bring us the Daily Observer. Too many interesting stories to share with you on this platform. So let's begin. We are starting up with front page Africa newspaper. It says here top stories. This is about climate change, living with the consequences. Liberia civil society demands fiscal reform and climate justice ahead of global finance summit. Let's get to some regional news addressing investment climate. Former National Investment Commission Executive Director Wisner invited to present at ECOWAS Parliament Special Committee session. And then lastly, for top stories, this is government news, how work shows up. Defense Ministry recognized as top performing institution in government. Good morning to you, Naomi Jones of 7th Street Sinker. You are following this live podcast. So these are the top stories. Let's get to the banner headlines. Yeah, this one says concerns over higher visa overstay rate. Liberia included on a list of 36 countries for potential U.S. travel ban. Foreign Minister Sarah Beslo Nyati says government is engaging the Trump administration on the matter. The memo signed by the Secretary of State, Marco Rubio, and sent Saturday to U.S. diplomats who work with the countries, said the government of Liberia and 35 other countries, including Ghana, Nigeria, Senegal, Ivory Coast, and the Gambia, were being given 60 days to meet new benchmarks and requirements established by the State Department. Esther, you see why it's good when the people give you visa. It's not good for you to go and overstay. The people give you 3 months. You can go, you'll be there for 2 months. All right? Come back. But they give you visa, they say go for 3 months, go for 6 months. You go and overstay. So these are the problems now we are encountering with the American government. All right? So let's take a few lines from this story. It's very interesting. Let's run a few lines for you. It says here the administration of the U.S. President Donald Trump, that's the administration of U.S. President Donald Trump has included Liberia on a list of 36 countries whose citizens will be banned from traveling to the United States, according to a draft memo obtained by the Washington Post, a U.S. media outlet. The memo signed by the Secretary of State, Marco Rubio, and sent Saturday to U.S. diplomats to work with, that's U.S. diplomats who work with the countries, said the government of Liberia and 35 other countries, including Ghana, Nigeria, Senegal, Ivory Coast, and the Gambia, were being given 60 days to meet new benchmarks and requirements established by the State Department. It set a deadline of 8 a.m. Wednesday for them to provide an initial action plan for meeting the requirements. According to the Post, the memo cited a range of factors that put the countries on the list. Some had no competent or cooperative central government authority to produce reliable identity documents or other civil documents, or they suffered from widespread government fraud. Others had large numbers of citizens who overstayed their visas. Liberia has one of the highest rates of visa overstays. A 2023 report from the U.S. Homeland Security Department said 1 in every 4 Liberians who visited the countries on visas overstayed. Liberian journalists who traveled to the U.S. recently said they were besieged by Liberians in the U.S. advising them to overstay. Immigration has been a major concern for the Trump administration, with the U.S. ambassador to Liberia, Mark Turner, warning in a commentary in April that anyone who attempted entering the U.S. illegally, lied to get visa, work without legal permission, or stay in the United States after your visa or visa waiver period expires will face serious penalties. He said they included jail term, deportation, and a permanent ban on obtaining a U.S. visa in the future. The move would be an escalation for the Trump administration, which last week began enforcing travel restrictions on its citizens from a number of countries, including Sierra Leone, Liberia's neighbor. At the same time, the administration is arresting and deporting a growing number of people in the country illegally. Among the ways countries could mitigate other concerns and avoid being on the banned list, according to the memo, was to accept third country nationals who were removed from the United States or enter in a safe third country agreement. Numerous countries, including South Sudan and El Salvador, have accorded to U.S. pressure or financial inducements to accept large numbers of people being deported from the United States. Madam Sarah Beslow Nyanti, Liberia's foreign minister, admitted the issue was a concern, telling Front Page Africa and in the WhatsApp messages that they are engaging on the issues of which we are informed that the Liberian overstay rate is one of the highest. Ours is higher than even Sierra Leone, who is already partially banned, said Nyanti, who held a meeting in May in Washington with U.S. Deputy Secretary of State Christopher Landau on immigration and other issues. In a Facebook post about the meeting, the Liberian Foreign Ministry said the two officials also discussed opportunities to deepen U.S. Liberia cooperation on migration and other issues, and look forward to a planned U.S. Liberia partnership dialogue slated for July 2025 in Monrovia. The Foreign Ministry said Nyanti and Landau shared perspective on the importance of Liberia's foreign policy, push on economic diplomacy, which aligns with that of President Trump during their meeting in May. The travel bans reflect a major foreign policy shift under the Trump administration, which has shut down USAID and cut 90% of foreign aid. Embassies have been told to prioritize immigration control and business deals for American companies. The only major deal for an American company on the table in Liberia is Avino Atlantic, formerly known as HPX, to develop the so-called Liberty Corridor, a multi-user rail line connecting iron ore mines of Guinea with a new deep water port in Didia, Liberia. Well, that's the story there. Let's leave it right there. I don't know who's calling me. You know, I'll share you. We're working there. You're calling. I don't know we can answer phone. Yeah, man. Let's get to more stories. Let's get to the last story here on the front page. It says frustration grows as banking assets and other services denied amid enrollment backlog. World Bank funding for more centers on hold because of government debt. National ID card chaos. I leave my job in the morning and come to find an ID card because it is a government mandate. We are all fighting to get an ID card, and then the process is just going slowly. Some of us are not feeling well, but we are forced to come here. Rick Scott, 54-year-old businessman. From a governance standpoint, this is very important because it enables the government to have a better database to know which portion of its population needs what kind of services. There has been a limited lack of awareness across the country. We need to complement it with financing and resourcing to make sure that there is adequate education. Harold Edo, Executive Director, Integrity Watch, Liberia. Let's take a few lines before we send controls to Esther, who is going to bring us the Daily Observer newspaper. This ID card thing is very serious. I think
Very.
we will place that on the table this morning. So let's take a few lines. Race card arrived at the National Identification Registry Center on a recent morning at 5 a.m. Can you imagine that? Joining a line of hopeful citizens in the pre-dawn darkness. By evening, the 54-year-old businessman returned home empty-handed for the fourth time in a week, clutching his 5 registration fee and a growing sense of frustration. I leave my job in the morning and come to find an ID card because it is a government mandate, Scott said, his voice reflecting weariness. We are all fighting to get an ID card, and then the process is just going slowly. Some of us are not feeling well, but we are forced to come here. Scott's experience reflects a catch-22 facing thousands of Liberians. In April, President Joseph Boakai issued an executive order that they obtain a national identification card in order to access government and private company services, including banking. But 2 months on the National Identification Registry is overwhelmed, leaving citizens camping in lines for days, often to be turned away. Frustration is growing. In March, the World Bank launched the $30 million Governance Reform and Accountability Transformation Project, known by the acronym GREAT, to digitize a vast range of government services that are now done manually and on paper. The funding came through the bank's International Development Association as part of a global identification for development initiative. This investment represented a significant commitment to modernizing Liberia's citizen services, with digital ID registration as the cornerstone. The national ID registration has been law in Liberia since 2011, but only 14% and 14% had registered before now. The president's mandate came after substantial funding was committed to the project. Government has allocated 27 million in the last 2 budget, taking the total government and World Bank commitment to more than 57 million. President Boakai issued Executive Order number 147 on April 14, directing all Liberians to register by August 1, when their IDs will be linked to cellular SIM cards. But many institutions have already begun demanding the ID. Pastor Houston Harris from the Better World Church discovered this firsthand when he attempted to secure a loan but was turned away because he had no ID card. It looks so bad for me because I am supposed to receive money and I cannot receive money, Harris said. I use the money to do business and also take care of my family. Existing centers cannot process cards fast enough at the center Harris visited. Only 85 people are served daily. There are 15 centers operating in Monrovia. Another 15 operate outside the capital. If all centers process 85 registrations a day, that's 125, that's 12,075 total each day in a city with a population of more than a million adults. At that rate, It will take 785 working days or more than 3 years to register all adults in Monrovia. Marlene Ross Clark is 72nd community resident, arrived at 7 a.m. only to learn that the day 85 tickets had already been distributed. So what becomes of the rest of us? She asked, sharing the frustration of citizens who cannot afford to wake up at 5 a.m. to compete for limited slots. Well, let's leave it right here. These are all the stories we can take this morning from the front page Africa newspaper. Let's send controls to Esther, who is going to run us through the Daily Observer.
Thank you very much, Wendell. And this morning, the Daily Observer is here. And let's see the stories we have. This is Liberia risks U.S. travel ban as Trump sets deadline for Liberia to avoid the unthinkable. This is right here on the front page of this paper, and we see President Boaka. He's right here, photograph. We also see the President of the United States photograph on the front page of this paper, and I think we will take some lines from here. It's a little different from what Wendell brought. So let's see where we have this story. Should be on page 9. Okay, read. Okay, this story is on page 10 of the paper. Liberia is among 36 countries